Hello guys, you are welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I cut and sew this beautiful simple kaftan you're watching on the screen right now. I'll be showing you in details of how I cut and sew it from beginning to the end. So if you are interested in this kind of tutorial, kindly stay back and watch this tutorial with me from beginning to the end. So here's the fabric we use for this tutorial. This is an Ankara print with a London crepe material. This is a London crepe material I'll be using. So I just need just these two things for this tutorial. We need just that fabric, these two fabric, and we'll need our tape, our scissors, and our chalk. And for this tutorial I will be using just these 2 yards of this Ankara fabric. This is just 2 yards of this Ankara fabric. So let's get started as we continue to cut it. So here is it. This is it. I already cut the back. Can you see that? This is the front 2 piece. I already fold it into 2, and this is the back at the down part as well. I already fold it as well into 2. So this is what we cut out. Now the next thing we are going to do now is to start drafting our basic measurements. We need to draft all the measurements we need for this tutorial. So first of all, we are going to measure out the length. What is the length we are working with? That's the first thing we need to measure, the length measurement. So for this tutorial I'll be working with the length measurement of 38. Yes, I'll be working with the length measurement of 38. Then I'm going to plus 2 inches to the length measurement. I'll just add 2 inches to the length measurement. Then I'm going to use my ruler to mark it out. I'm going to use my ruler to mark all the measurements out. So that is that about the length of a thing. That is that about the length. So now the next thing we are going to do now, since we are already done with the length measurement, is to move to the wideness of the dress, because it's a cut together sleeve. It's a cut together sleeve. So I want to measure out the wideness of the dress. The reason why I'm measuring it like this, first of all, let me measure out the shoulder. What is the person's shoulder? Our shoulder is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give us 7. And now the person's sleeve length, the sleeve length I want to use the sleeve length of 18. And when you see this dress now, it's not up to 18. The sleeve here is not up to 18. So what I'm going to do is that, because of the style we are making, this style you are watching on the screen right now, because of the sleeve, so we are going to like join another pieces to join the hand based on the style. So here I have 9, so I'm going to cut another 2 pieces, which is going to be 9. So it will give me the 18 inches that I need. And for the wideness of the sleeve, I want to use everything. I want everything to be ready at 10.5. So I'm going to mark out 11.5 right here. Yes, I'll mark out 11.5 at this part. The reason why that I mark 11.5 is because, I'll be joining it at the shoulder. I'll be joining the dress at the shoulder, and I'll be joining it at the armhole side. So the joining will take 1 inches. Then I will have my 10.5 ready. I will have my 10.5 ready. So let me just, so this 10.5, this 11.5 that I'm going to be using for the sleeve band is going to represent my bust line. So this is going to represent my bust line. Let me measure it again. Can you see? So this is the person half length. Our half length is 15. From our half length to our hip line, I'll be using 7. So I'm going to use my ruler to mark that out. The hip line, the half length, and the bust line as well. So these are the 3 lines I have: the bust line, the half length, and the hip line. Those are the 3 measurements I have. So that's where I'm going to start taking my measurements one after the other. So our bust is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give us 9. So that is what I mark out. And our waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give us 7. And our hip is 36 as well. So our hip and our bust is the same thing. Can you see? So now for the down part, let me cut out the excess of this fabric. The remaining one, let me cut it out. Yes. So now for the down part. And for the down part, I'm going to, what do I have here? I have 9 here. So I'll be using, but before that, let me add 2 inches to all the basic measurements I have here. 2 inch sewing allowance. So I just add my 2 inch. So everything I have here at the hip line with the sewing allowance is 11 and quarter. Everything I have here is 11 and quarter or so. So I'm going to measure out the same thing at the down part plus 1 inches. Anything I have at my hip line, I will just add 1 inches to it for the down part. So I'm going to connect all these lines together. I'm going to connect from the down part to the hip. I'm going to connect from there to the hip, to the waist, and to the bust line. That is just it. So can you see the way I'm connecting it? Just connect it as shown. This one that I just mark out now is the line of sewing allowance plus sewing allowance. So I'm going to join the main basic measurement. This is the main basic measurement, the body measurement. So this is it. Can you see that? So this is what you're going to get after you mark all your body measurements out. It's very, very simple and easy to make. Now let's come to the neckline. For the neckline, I'll be using 3 inches. I'll be using 3. I don't want the neck to be wide, so that's why I'm using 3. So for the back neckline, we have back and front. So for the back neckline, I'll be using 3 by 1. 3 for the wideness and 1 for the depth of the neckline. So I'll be using 3 by 1 inches. Then for the front neckline, I'll be using the same 3 by 7 inches. I hope you are getting it. For the front neckline, I'll be using 3 by 7 inches. Then for the wideness of the down part of the neckline, I'll be using 2.2 and quarter. 2 and quarter, not up to 2.5 that I'll be using here. Now I'm going to connect the line. I'm just using my French cuff. You can use your free hand to do that. And if you have your French cuff, you are good to go. So just mark it as shown and also mark here as well. So that is for our neckline. That's for the neckline. I hope you are getting it. So let's cut it out now. Let's start to cut all our fabric out. So I cut the front and the back together. Then after doing that, remove the back. Please don't do mistake by cutting the two together. No, remove the back and cut only the front neckline. Can you see that? So after cutting it, this is what we're going to get. This is what we're going to have. Then let's move to the body and cut out the body as well. And this is it. We are done cutting our basic body. Now let's move to the okay. Before that, what I always do is that if the one I have as SS is enough, just as the one you are seeing right here, that is how I always do it. I'll just use it for the pocket. This is 4 pieces, so that is what I'll be using for the pocket. The one I cut out from the body, this is for the pocket. This inner pocket I'll be putting because it has pockets. So that is what I'll be using for the pockets. Now, another thing we need to do now is to measure out, because we are going to be cutting the pieces for the front neckline. The one, so we have 7 here. So 7 times 2, because it's in 2. So 7 times 2 will give us 14. Then come to the back neckline. Measure it. Start from your 14. So I'm going to place my tape rule from this 14 right here. Yes. Just place it from 14 and measure it round. So everything we have here is 21.5. 21.5. So is this 21.5 that I'm going to cut out on this our beautiful fabric we'll be using for the neck line. 21.5. But what I always do is that I'm not going to cut exactly 21.5. I'm going to add a little bit to it in case of incasity. So I'll be cutting 20. I'll add just maybe 2 inches or so to it. I will still cut it out, but I always like to cut it in excess. So this is 2 inches. So I'll be cutting 21.5 by 2 inches. 21.5 by 2 inches is what I'll be cutting out. So that is for the neckline. This piece that I cut now is for the neckline. When we get there, I will explain better on that. Now, I said it earlier. I said the sleeve, based on the design we are making for the sleeve. So I'll need to cut another pieces for the sleeve. So I'm just trying to fold it. I'll need to cut another piece for the sleeve. And our sleeve band is 10.5, right? So what I fold here, I'll be folding 11. I will not fold exactly 10.5. So I'll be folding 11 by 3. So I'll be cutting out 11 by 3 on fold. Please don't forget. 11 by 3 on fold. Then I'll cut it out. That is what I did. Just cut out 11 by 3 on fold. So this is it. This 4 piece that I cut now, I'll be cutting it on the Ankara as well. I will cut another 4 piece on the Ankara as well. So after cutting it on the Ankara, then we are done with our cutting. The next thing we need to do now is to move to our sewing machine and start sewing it one after the other. And this is for the turning of the neckline. I'll be showing you where I'm going to be using this. So I just cut out 7.5 by 4.5. So I'll be showing you where I'm going to need this. So here is it. We are already on the machine. So we start to join our fabric one after the other. So this is the one we are going to be using for the sleeve. I told you earlier that the sleeve, this is how I make the sleeve. So I cut another 3 by 11 on fold. So I'm going to like stitch it as shown. Take one plain material and one Ankara. Just join it the way I'm doing it. Then top stitch on your plain material. If you don't want to top stitch, there's no problem. You can decide to open your seam and iron it. There is no method you use that is not okay. Any method you are good to use, you are good to go. So this is it. Just do it the same way you did the first one. Sorry, I'm going to open it. I don't want the stitches to show. So this is it after I'm done sewing it. This is the one we are going to be adding to the sleeve we cut earlier. So make sure that you notch your middle, notch it as shown. Just notch it, and this is it. Take it for ironing, iron it. This is how you're going to do for the two sleeve. This is it. Then for the down part of your sleeve, we are going to fold the down part of the sleeve. Let's fold it once and for all before we move to the body, to the joining of the body. Just join it, stitch the down part, and we are going to move to the body right now after we are done with this. So keep this aside. This is it after doing it just the way I do it now. So that is that about that. Now to the neckline. Now this is the one we cut earlier for our neckline. This is it. So after you stitch it as shown, notch the middle part as well. Notch the middle. After you notch the middle, place it aside and take the body of your fabric, place the front and back together and join the shoulder. Place front and back together and join the shoulder. That is the first thing to do on your main body fabric. Join the two shoulders together. After you join the shoulder, the next thing we are going to do now is to take the plain piece, our London crepe that we're going to be using for the neck. Pick your back body and notch the middle part of the back, just as I show it now. Just notch the middle part and pick we already notched the middle of this plain material. So place the notch area, place it together and start sewing it. So you're going to sew it from the back. Please just sew it from one side to the other. Just watch the tutorial, watch it how I'm doing it, and just follow the procedure and you will see the results. You know, earlier I had some inches to it, so I have to cut it. I just have to add it for some reason, yeah. So just stop at that part. At this part, stop your stitching. At the end of your cutting here, just stop your stitching, and can you see the way I'm doing it? Just have to watch the way I will do it for you to understand. Just sew it and make sure that you reverse that side. Now let me show you. This is what you're going to have after you sew it like that. This is it. This is one side now. This is one side. So you're going to do the second side just the same way we did this one. So let's do that one. Can you see that? So just the same way we sew the other one, sew this one as well. Can you see that? So just sew it. Just sew it as shown. After sewing it, let's turn it and see how it looks. So this is it after sewing it. This is how it's going to look like after you sew it. This is how it's going to look like. So now back to this place now. This place. You know we cut 7 by 4.5 earlier. So these pieces that we cut earlier, place the pieces as shown. Place the pieces like this and just sew it. Just see the way I'm still going to sew it. Then after you sew it like this, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to sew it all round, like these pieces that we had. This is it. But these pieces, we are going to sew the pieces all round, just as shown. Just sew it all round like this. And this is it after I sew it finish. This is what I have after sewing it. So later I'm going to take it for ironing and use my hemming gum to gum this side with the fabric. So that is that about that, and that's about the neckline anyway. So the next thing we are going to do now is to start joining the sleeve that we make earlier. We will start to join it. So this is the sleeve we make earlier, and this is the place we notch. This side we notch. You are going to place it at the shoulder, at the middle part of the dress, and just stitch it straight down. So we are almost done with our sewing. We are almost done. So the next thing we are going to do now is to take out the sleeve band measurement. You know, I said it earlier that I'm using 10.5 for the sleeve band. So the sleeve band we're using is 10.5. Then we start to stitch it straight down. Just stitch it straight down as shown. And if you don't know how to fix your inner pocket on your dress, I have tutorial on that on my channel. Just search for how to fix pockets, how to fix inner pocket. You are going to see it there. So just search for that and you are going to see it on my channel, how to fix inner pocket. I have like 3 tutorials on how to fix pockets step by step. So what I'm doing right here is that I'm going to measure from the shoulder. I'll measure to 15 because the 15 is the person half length, so that's where the pocket is going to start. So I just reverse that place. Then from this 15, I'm going to measure out 7. From here, I'll measure 7 inches. That's for the pocket mouth. 7 inches for the pocket mouth before I start to stitch straight down, and repeat the same thing for the second side as well, and fold the down part of the gown. And that's everything. So this is for the pocket mouth, 7 inches. So for the stitchings, since it's a free gown, so I'm just going to be stitching by 1 inches on both sides. I'll be stitching the body by just 1 inches. That is what I did. Just stitch it straight down. Can you see that? So this is it after we stitch everything. This is it. The body, the place I said earlier that I'm going to use demi gum, I already gum it, and I already iron the clothes as well. And after sewing everything together, this is what we have. Can you see that? Very simple and beautiful. So thanks so much for watching the channel. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please kindly do so. Kindly subscribe to the channel, and see you guys in my next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.